Hello viewers, today we are going to discuss about Mirabai Bhajans, and the objectives are to analyze and interpret the poem Mind, Worship the Holy Eternal Lord Krishna, to explore the magnificence of the Bhakti poetry through Mirabai's songs, to study the life of Mirabai and her love to Lord Krishna. Mirabai, a devout follower of Lord Krishna, was a Rajput princess who lived in the North Indian state of Rajasthan. She was one of the foremost interpreters of Prema Bhakti, the divine love, and a great poetess as well. She sang in a Vraja Bhasha mixed with Rajasthani and Gujarati lyrics in praise of the Lord Sri Krishna. He was the Lord who had a place in her heart with her intense love and devotion. Mirabai was born in 1504 AD at Chaukare village in a district named Merta of Rajasthan. The Ranthos, great devotees of Lord Vishnu, ruled Rajasthan then. Mirabai's father, Ratan Singh, was the second son of Rao Dodaji, a descendant of the founder of Jodhpur, Rao Jodha Ji Rathore. Her grandfather raised and nurtured her. In those days, royal families had education which include knowledge of scriptures, music, archery, fencing, horseback riding and chariot driving. Mirabai was also given such training in those fields. She was also given training to use weapons in case of war. Mira grew up with the total consciousness of Lord Krishna, the one responsible in molding her life into his path with devotion and love. Mira, a lady of royal blood, had a few parallels in the world. People of Rajasthan, Gujarat and northern India equally claim her to be their own, as her songs and poems are composed in each of these three languages: Rajasthani, Gujarati, Vraj Hindi. It is evident that Mira was born in Rajasthan and happened to live in Vrindavan in the east and Dwaraka in the west in the later years of her life. Mirabai evidently expressed a deep devotion to Krishna when she was hardly 4 years of age. A wedding procession was watched by her in front of her residence, and the child saw the well-dressed bridegroom. She asked her mother innocently who her bridegroom would be. Her mother smiled pleasantly and pointed at the image of Sri Krishna and said that Lord Krishna, the beautiful fellow, would be her bridegroom. From then on, her desire to be the bride of Krishna intensely had grown. She strongly believed and firmly convinced that Krishna would come to marry her and thus become her husband. Mirabai had a melodious voice. She was soft-mannered, mild-spoken and very sweet-natured. She was known to be possessing extraordinary beauty of her time. This fame spread to several kingdoms and provinces far and wide. Rana Sangha, otherwise called Rana Sangram Singh, the powerful king of Mewar, came to Rao Deoda for Mirabai's hand in marriage to his son Bhojraj, also known by the name of Rana Kumbha or Kumbharana. Bhoj wanted to marry Mirabai for her innocent and pious and divine nature, for which Rao Duda agreed. Mirabai could not tolerate the thought of marrying a human being when her heart was totally occupied by the thoughts of Krishna. At the same time, she could not go against the desire of her beloved grandfather's word and finally agreed for the wedding. Thus, she was given in hand to Rana Kumbha in 1513, even before she turned 14. As already expected, Mirabai was dutiful. She soon left for Mewar with her husband Rana Kumbha. Mira would go to the temple of Lord Krishna as soon as her household duties were done by her. She would sing, worship and dance before Lord Krishna's idol every day. Rana Kumbha's mother and other women of the palace did not appreciate the ways of Mirabai because they were worldly and jealous-minded. Rana Kumbha's mother forced Mira to worship goddess Durga, for which Mira replied that she had already given her life to her beloved Lord Krishna. Meanwhile, Udaibai, sister-in-law of Mirabai, secretly informed Rana Kumbha that Mira was in love with someone and that she had seen Mira talking to her love in the temple. She also said that she would show him the person if he would accompany her a night. The woman further defamed Mira that her conduct had brought a great slur on the reputation of Rana family of Mewar. Rana Kumbha was enraged and ran with a sword in his hand towards Mira, but luckily Mira was in the temple at the moment. A wise and sober relative of Rana counseled him, saying that Mira is a great devotee of Lord Krishna and a wrong allegation would destroy him. He advised Rana that his hasty behavior would result in unwanted consequences. He also told Rana that women of the palace might have concocted these rumors against Mira to force him to take an action against her and also destroy her. Scholars say that Kumbha Rana was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. He wrote a treatise called Rasipriya and a grammatical work Sanita Rajam on the immortal works of Jayadeva and Gita Govindam. It was well known that he had the hand of Mira out of great admiration for her devotion and love to the Lord Krishna. The sad part remains that he had forgotten this in the years that followed. Anyhow, Rana Kumbha calmed down but accompanied his sister to the temple at the dead hour of the night. Rana Kumbha shouted at Mira to show him with whom she was talking to in the temple. She was in an ecstatic mood, singing the songs of Lord Krishna in trance and had shown the Lord in reply. Hindi Bhajan. Meaning, the attachment of Mira with Lord Krishna had made her drown in his love totally. She praises and sings of Krishna down each and every street. She says that she was brought up in the palaces, but then she is only a maid servant and devotee of Lord Krishna. Someone has commented that Mira had gone mad. The unaffected Mira was moving freely with the sadhus and continued to invite Bhagavatas to join her in Krishna Bhajan at the temple. Though she had faced accusation from royal family, she stood unruffled. Rana Kumbha understood the entire situation and remained a good husband and sympathizer of Mira till his death. Mira had no desire for throne, but Rana's relatives wanted to kill her. They sent a basket of cobra inside and also a message saying that basket contained a garland of flowers. After meditation on opening the basket, Mira found a lovely idol of Sri Krishna with a garland of flowers. Rana, the brother-in-law of Mira, sent her a cup of poison with a false message that it was nectar. Mira first offered it to Lord Krishna and took it, and it turned out to be a nectar. Likewise, the boxes of nails sent by Rana turned into bed of roses. The tortures and blames continued, and Mira wrote a letter to Goswami Tulsidas seeking his advice. She wrote that she would not abandon her relationship with Sri Krishna just because she was constantly tortured by her relatives. She also said that she had a total bondage with Krishna which cannot be broken. Tulasidas advised her, saying that as Prahlada abandoned his father, Vibhishana left his brother Ravana, the Gopastris abandoned their husbands to be with their Krishna. Meera was advised to abandon those who would not understand her and allow her to worship Shyam. The turning point took place in Meera's life when Akbar and his court musician Tansen came in disguise to the temple where Meera was singing devotional and inspiring songs. While leaving, he touched the holy feet of Meera and placed a precious necklace made of priceless gems at the feet of the idol. On hearing this, Rana became very furious. In uncontrolled anger, he ordered Meera to drown herself in the river and not to show her face again to the world in future. Meera reached the river to drown herself with the names of Lord Govinda, Gopala, Giridhara on her lips. She was singing and dancing on her way. Before the last step was placed into the water, she was pulled and embraced. To her astonishment, it was Lord Krishna who gently smiled and whispered that she had always been his and that her life with the moral people would get completed soon. On knowing of this incident, Rana approached her with repentance and requested her to occupy her place as the queen once more. But she rejected, saying that she belongs only to Krishna. For the first time, Rana understood her exalted state of mind and prostrated before her with due respect. On an occasion, she was not permitted to have a darshan of Jiva Gosai, she being a woman. Meera replied that she had come to know of only one Purusha, Krishna, who all else were women, to which Jiva Gosai bent his head in shame and went to visit her, offering his due respect to her. Meera's union with Sri Krishna. On Krishna's Janmashtami day, in the temple of Krishna at Dwaraka, when there were lights of lamps glowing, with devotees chanting the name of Krishna in ecstasy, their voices filling the air with rose, Meera closed her eyes, stood up and began singing the song, Mere Janama Maran Ke Sathi. Rana gently asked her to come back into the normal world. When Meera rose up, saying that she was of no use to him at the state of mind for which Rana realized the truth and began singing with her in unison. Meera stumbled and fell at the feet of the Lord. People saw in awe that there was an aura of light enveloping Meera, and then the sanctum doors got closed. The doors opened again, but Meera's body could not be seen. Her sari was draping Krishna's idol. One could hear her voice and the flute accompaniment to their astonishment. Thus, Meera drank the Premarasa, the love nectar of Lord Krishna, which was revealed in her songs. She was indeed one of the foremost devotees of Prema Bhakti that ever existed on earth. Today, totally lost in the love of Lord Krishna, Meera sings Bhajan. Meaning that in the colors of love, she has become so absorbed in the love of Krishna that everything appears to be of one reflection for her. It was not on account of her beauty or her poetic skill that she achieved self-realization, but only with her single-minded devotion to the Lord. Let us now have a look at a few songs composed by Meera. Mira here addressing the pious souls, saying that her consciousness is totally absorbed into the divine vibration of the names of her Hari. She would surrender herself to his holy name. Everyone calls him butter thief, but there are a few who name him Vairagi, meaning wandering monk or sannyasi having no passion for anything. Mira sings that she has bejeweled her beloved's name on the garland of wreaths. In another song, Mira sings, meaning that she was given priceless thing by her true spiritual master Krishna, and she accepted it gracefully. She found the treasure after many births, and then she has lost the rest of the world. One, O mind, worship the holy blessed feet of the Lord, the eternal and indestructible Lord Krishna. Two, things visible between the sky and the earth shall come to an end sooner than you think and expect. Three, what would be the use of visiting the holy places or taking vows that do not lead us to the path of reaching the Lord? Or is there any use of listening to the Puranas, stories and descriptions of the scriptures? Is there a use dying in Kasi, O fool? Four, she warns the people not to be proud of having a human body because it will turn to dust at the end. Five, the whole sansar or the world is like a gambler's play. It would come to an end by the evening, just like a magician's play. So all is vanity. Six, is there a use of wearing an orange robe and leaving your worldly duties? The lives of the Dharma Gurus and their followers with their shining establishments proved that this is all vanity. Seven, the Dharma Gurus put their faith in magic, wealth and power, but do not know the real truth of the Lord. They are vain deceivers of mankind. For 8.4 lakhs of births, they would be in hell and its related pains. They guide others to wander around in the darkness of lust and greed. O Lord, look at the foolish worldly ways. I am totally helpless, but also your least valuable servant. Nine. O Lord, dear Mira's Lord and lover eternal, please come to help me. Destroy my continuous chain of endless births and deaths. The songs of Mirabai were known as Pada or Chant traditionally. It was a term used in the 14th century to refer to the small songs of spirituality. Mira composed many poems to express her deepest feeling of love of her heart to Lord Krishna. Her poems were in Rajasthani and Viraj, the Hindi dialect spoken in and around Vrindavan, the childhood home of Sri Krishna. They were not written but composed and sung in the course of her wanderings. A communion exists between the poet and the audience. Music helps in establishing an altered climate of consciousness, and many participate in this act. Thus, the Bhakti movement exists where two or more together sing to their love to the divine. Even today, this collective singing of songs and bhajans is a greatly loved occupation. Swami Sivananda, a great saint, says of Mirabai, "It is extremely difficult to find a parallel to this wonderful personality. Mira, a saint, a philosopher, a poet, and a sage. She was a versatile genius and a magnanimous soul. Her life has a singular charm with extraordinary beauty and marvel. Mira is eternal, beloved manifestation of Brahma. In the bhajan, she comments on the mischief of Dharmagurus and their followers who net for the people to be kept on their thumbs. She guides the divine followers of Krishna to have a path leading to eternal freedom, joy, peace and love. It is advised to surrender all dharmas by following virtue of humility. One can put an end to the darkness of pride by surrendering oneself to the Lord." Bhajan. The world is an ocean of sorrows and sufferings. It makes your path to the hell. So, it must be understood that one can overcome this ocean with the help of a boat of your name, O Krishna. Man who craves for supreme bliss or Brahmananda should have his purity of thoughts as white as milk. But today, his mind is filled with bad thoughts and feelings. Spiritual practice begins with the heart purification and transforming into an ocean of milk. The heart filled with the sattvic or purified qualities, it turns then into a milky ocean. But his evil-mindedness, bad qualities like lust, greed, anger and envy flourish more. It is a mistake to give place to such evil qualities. They must be removed totally in order to have the Lord in the heart filled with the purified qualities. At the same time, this human body, which is made of 5 elements, will come to dust, but should be regarded as spiritual abode and therefore should be carried off. Spiritual awakening is achieved by offering worship to the Lord and taking up the work one proposes to do. The birth of human being is the result of past deeds. One should do his deeds with dutifulness and righteousness and understand the secret of life, which are all connected with the Brahma. Do the duty and leave the rest to the God. Mira's cosmic vision was very beautiful. She saw Krishna everywhere, in trees, in stones, in creepers, in flowers, in thunder, in lightning, in every living and non-living being. Meera will be remembered as long as the name of Krishna remains. Though born as a princess, she abandoned all the pleasures of palace and luxuries offered. She chose a life of poverty, austerity and vairagya, that is, renunciation. Her journey into spirituality was amidst various difficulties. She underwent torments and ordeals, but her willpower was gigantic. She journeyed through the stormy sea of troubles and difficulties and reached the other shore, the shore of supreme love and peace, where she would be with Krishna forever. She faced piercing mocks and taunts and sarcasms of the world bravely, but she never cared for their remarks and criticisms. Her love for Lord Krishna was spontaneous. Thus, Krishna was her husband, friend, philosopher, guide, or relations, and finally her guru. Listen to Mirabai's bhajans and enjoy the Creator's love towards his devotees. Hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you.